It wasn't an explosion, it wasn't a coup, and it wasn't a sudden attack. It was a short meeting, one that ended before the tea on the table even cooled. And yet, that meeting alone was enough to change the fate of an entire nation. The question I want you to keep in mind until the very last minute is this: how can just 10 minutes destroy what took 10 years to build? At that time, the country was at its peak. The economy was stable, the army was organized, and the world looked at it as a rising model. It wasn't perfect, but it was moving in the right direction, until that day arrived. The meeting hadn't been planned weeks in advance. It was called hastily, for a simple but sensitive reason. One report, short, no more than 2 pages. It carried a warning, politely worded. The leaders entered the room. Each sat in their usual place, familiar faces, and confidence, a bit too much of it. The reading began. The report warned against a previous decision, a decision made years earlier, one that had worked at first. But time had changed, conditions had changed, and the decision was no longer suitable. One advisor calmly said, "Continuing on this path could create a crisis within 2 years." 2 years? That felt far away, and minds under pressure hate delayed problems. One leader interrupted, "We're getting results now. Why change something that's working?" A logical question, but a dangerous one, because the most destructive decisions are often made during times of success. That's when the division appeared. One group believed the warning was exaggerated. The other believed ignoring it was a gamble. But time was tight, the agenda was full, and no one wanted a long debate. Then suddenly, the top leader said the sentence that ended everything. "Let's postpone this." It was an ordinary sentence, short, familiar, but it was the real decision. The meeting ended, everyone left. Each returned to their work, and no one felt they had witnessed a historic moment. Months later, strange indicators began to appear. Not catastrophic, but worrying. A slight decline here, limited tension there, and no one connected it to that report. After a year, the indicators became real problems. Partners began to withdraw. Trust was shaken. Decisions turned defensive. Still, there was hope. It was still possible to step back. But the problem with postponed decisions is that they don't stay suspended. They are either solved or they grow. In the second year, the crisis exploded. Not all at once, but in stages. A market collapses, an alliance falls apart, external pressure increases, and everyone asks, "How did we get here?" They went back to the archives, to old reports, to the warnings, and there they found the report, the one that was read, understood, and then postponed. That's when the shock hit. There wasn't one wrong decision. There was one decision that was never made, and that's more dangerous. Pause here for a moment. Did you notice something? Sometimes not making a decision is the decision, and the results? The same, or worse. Years later, the government fell, policies changed, and past success turned into a harsh lesson. The irony? All of this could have been avoided if the meeting had lasted just 10 more minutes. The advisor who warned them? He resigned quietly, didn't attack anyone, didn't defend himself. He simply said, "I warned them at the right time, but time wasn't ready to listen." This story isn't just about a country, it's about a mindset that says, "Not now. Things are under control. Let's focus on success." But history teaches us one thing. Success doesn't protect you from collapse. Sometimes it accelerates it. Before the story ends, ask yourself one honest question. How many decisions in your life do you know must be made, but you keep postponing? How many internal meetings did you end with the word later? Write in the comments. Do you think postponing a decision is more dangerous than making the wrong one? And why? If you liked this story and the way it shows how small details create massive collapses, then the next story will be about one moment of silence that revealed a secret that should never have been known. Then you'll understand that some moments don't require the courage to speak, but the courage not to stay silent.